Hi, this is Kev. Welcome back to Mindful Mods. A very quick demo today of two pedals which I was sent to me free by Musiclily to test. These are from their new range of pedals, which at the time of recording this video haven't come out yet, but probably will any day now. One is the Analog Delay, which what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare this next to a similar pedal which I've got, which is the Donner Yellow Fall Delay. They both do pretty much the same thing, so I'll do a shootout between those two. And not having a comparable pedal for the US Dream, I'm just going to test this using my guitar and getting some good distortion and gain sounds out of it. I like it quite a lot. And I'll give you a completely honest, transparent feedback at the end, same as I gave to Musiclily. Guitars I'm using on this are for the Analog Delay, I'm using my Fender, sorry, not Fender, Esquire Bullet Strat, which has been really modified severely, and it's got some made in Mexico harness and pickups in it. Fender made in Mexico pickups and harness. And for the US Dream, which really seems to suit humbuckers, I've got my Aria Pro 2 Cardinal, and that's got Entwistle HVX humbuckers in there. Not hugely expensive humbuckers, but I really like them. And in terms of the recording, I'm using Amplitude 4. I may have used a tiny bit of compression on it. Apart from that, a bit of reverb, and that's it. I seem to remember I was using their American Clean 2 amp sim and a Fender Twin Reverb cab sim for this demo. Okay, enough from me. Let's have a listen to how they sound, and I'll catch up with you for my impressions at the end. Okay, there we go. Those are the two pedals. My impressions of them both are, what I think they're going to price these at is very good value, very usable. They're quiet. They do what they're supposed to do. There were no major surprises, and all I've really got on the pedals is just sort of minor niggles. But that's probably because I'm using much more expensive pedals on my main board. So yeah, let me get into it. So for the analog delay, I really liked the brightness and sparkliness of the delay. I think it compared favourably to the Donna in that respect. It was slightly muddier with the drive tone on. I didn't show it with the drive tone on, but it was a tiny bit muddier, but still sounded really, really nice with a bit of drive on there. The length between the delays on its slowest setting, that being the maximum amount of length between each repeat of what you play on the guitar, is slightly slower than the yellow full delays. So, which means maybe there's just a tiny bit more less flexibility in terms of the kind of riffs you can play, depending on how fast you can play. And it got into a feedback loop. I kind of mucked about, as you saw in the video, with the feedback. That's when it kind of the delay just gets bigger and bigger and louder and louder and louder, and eventually starts clipping. It gets into that territory a bit quicker than the yellow full delay, but it's still kind of within tolerance, with the delays that I've used. So the decay though on it, if you listen, there was one bit where I really let a couple of bits where I really let the delays go right to the very end on a long delay. On the yellow full delay, the decay was pretty horrible. I never even noticed it before I did this demo. The decay really degrades very, very badly on the yellow full towards the end of the cycle, whereas on the Musiclily pedal it was much cleaner towards the end. So yeah, pluses or minuses there. It depends what kind of sound you like. Me, I like a nice clean tone. The reverb, the analog delay really suits a kind of atmospheric. So I could really see it being used in a kind of ambient setting. I could see it being used with much more atmospheric tones, as you heard there. It's you can really hear each individual delay, which is really, really nice, and it's not a digital delay sound. So that's kind of novel. The yellow full was much darker and less sparkly, I suppose. On to the US Dream. I got some really nice drive tone out of my humbucker equipped guitar. For full transparency, I tried it with my Strat, the same Strat I used for the analog delay, and it didn't sound as great. I think this pedal, based on the limited usage I've had out of it, really suits humbuckers to my mind. It suits a kind of darker pickup, which you get when you stick two single coils together and call them a humbucker. So yeah, I really liked it. I think there was some really nice bluesy tones coming out of it through, when you got into the lower gain settings, and when you got into the sort of the real distorted tones, I think it did that kind of classic rock sound really, really nicely. It's certainly really, really usable. If I was to take a slight pick at it, I'd say that the tone and the you have to kind of work with the tone and the volume and gain. I get, as the gain goes up, the pedal gets louder, so you have to turn the volume down. But you also, as the distortion goes up on this guitar, it gets brighter on this pedal. It gets brighter, which means you have to kind of work with that. So make it slightly more complicated if you were changing the gain on stage, because you've got two controls to work with, not one, three controls rather than one, rather than two even. So so that would be a little niggle, but I really got some nice sounding distortion out of it, and it was a kind of late 70s, early 80s rock machine as far as I was concerned. I'm sure some other people will get some different tones out of it, but that's what I found using my Aria Pro 2. So yeah, both really, really good pedals. Really pleased with them. They have some tiny issues. They are small, but they are there. But that, in my experience, is what you tend to get with a pedal you're not spending 100 $200 on, or you know, even $70-80 on. And as you'll have seen if you watch my Joyo Vintage Overdrive Tube Screamer Mini comparison, sometimes there's no difference at all. But normally speaking, there's a few niggles, and this pedal coming in, I suspect, even cheaper than the Joyo Vintage Overdrive. Do hit subscribe if you like the video. There's more coming up, more pedal demos. I'm going to be doing lots more mods. I've got builds which I've been procrastinating for a while. They'll be coming up. Building a couple of guitars. So yeah, all to follow on Mindful Mods, and whatever happens across my little studio desk. From Marketplace or ordering from Tom and the likes of Amazon. That's all coming up as well. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll catch you next time on Mindful Mods.